Well, put some light on. As you guys can see, the recap is completed. Turned out pretty good. Went through and tested all my connections. See how they are. This is that other 30 microfarad. That was a CAN capacitor I was talking about. The rest of it is recap. There were some ones that were really tough to get at up in there. I actually had to get to them from the other side. There's a little hole in the chassis on the other side, which was good because it allowed me to get to a couple of capacitors that were back there. So all that needs to happen now, I got to put a new cord on it. I'm going to put an inline fuse, probably like 1 amp. 1 amp should be fine. Should be enough. And then I think I'll take this thing here. This was mounted on the cabinet. So I think what I'll do is I'll just use one of these holes here, and we'll make it bigger so that we can put a 1/4 inch jack. We'll shorten up all this garbage and put our 1/4 inch jack in the back there, and then we will put it on the variac and bring it up slow just to make sure all our connections are good. It's going to be a little difficult trying to tune things in. This is assuming everything works. I haven't got my whatever you want to call it, the line. I've got some new line coming. Maybe I'll try to tighten this one a little bit. Otherwise it's going to be a little tough to bring a signal in, but we'll give it a shot. So I got to get back and solder. I got a new cord to put on here plus an inline fuse, and then we'll go from there. Okay, so we are getting finished up here. We put our new cord on, put a 1 amp fuse holder in there. I'm going to probably put a chassis mount fuse holder on, but I didn't have any, so for now we'll just leave this in here literally hanging in the breeze. Because we're not done with this yet, I have to get the dial cord. It's still coming in, plus there's some lights that are on their way, so we will test it out. Put our 1/4 inch jack in here. We cleaned all this stuff up. This was from a record player. It's kind of wonky. This whole thing, it's like, it's not a very impressive build, you know, Zenith. It's really kind of, whole thing's kind of wonky, really. But anyway, clean this up a little bit, and yeah, I could have put some nice shielded stuff in there. Maybe I will, and later on. I have plenty of it here. So I need to put all the tubes back in, and then we'll put it in the chassis, because we need to hook it up to the speaker and the antenna. And now I'm going to say something a little controversial. And before your little fingers go typing, you better check with the guys that know a hell of a lot more than I do about tube amplifiers and whatnot. So, can you turn on a tube amplifier, dun 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 dun, without a speaker load? What's the answer? The answer is not really. And the reason the answer is not really is because if you don't have a signal going through that amplifier and you want to turn it on, as long as you're not pushing signal through, it's fine to not be connected to a speaker load. Unfortunately, you know, probably at least 80% of the diagnostics you do are going to require signal passing through. So, but that is something that I learned not too long ago, because I'm a newbie. But yeah, it is okay to turn on a tube amplifier. This is a radio, don't forget now. And because it's a radio and I can't really, well, I could yeah, I could keep the volume down and I could turn it on. I was going to say I can't really keep from passing signal, because it's picking, you know, it's receiving radio stations, receiving a signal. But anyway, yeah, that is a thing. You can in fact safely turn on a tube amplifier so long as you are not passing signal through it. You can turn it on without a speaker lobe. But the reason I say not really is because, again, most diagnostics takes, signal passing through it. And it's generally good practice to just say, listen, don't turn it on without a load on the speaker. So, alright, I got to go get the cabinet out. I got to put the tubes back in. I'm afraid we're going to have a problem with the rectifier tube because it looked pretty cooked. But you never know. We'll give it a shot and we'll see what happens. Let me get this cabinet out and whatnot. And get the variac too, because I want to bring it up slow. These are all brand new capacitors. Some people say it doesn't matter. My radio guy said it doesn't matter. Put it right to power. But I don't know. I like to bring it up slow just in case, even though I've already triple checked all my connections, just in case there's a short, Oh, I put a 1 amp fuse in there. That should be plenty for this. Yeah, before I do this now, see, this is what I'm talking about with this rubber wire in here. Get that to focus. You guys see how this stuff is just disintegrating. So before I turn this on, I'm going to have to do something to make sure these wires are not shorting out. This is all the, bass, treble, voice. This is all the voicing here. So I got to do something to make sure these are not shorting out on one another. So, we'll see. Alright, so I don't know, maybe I'll have you guys kind of look at the front of this. So what I'm going to do is, this is temporarily in the chassis. I'm going to plug this in the variac. And maybe I should have you guys looking at the variac, I don't know. And I'm going to just turn it on. I'm not going to really turn the volume up very much, just a little tiny bit. Oh, and there you guys go. Oh, sorry about that. So we're going to bring this up a little bit, bring the voltage up. Let's see where we're at here. Oh, I guess I should turn it on. I've got mine wired so the display is on all the time. So I'm going to bring this up to about 50 volts, and then we're going to hang here for a while, so I'm going to pause you guys. So what I'm doing here is I've just got my multimeter hooked up just to make sure, I don't have any voltage. Checking different voltages, make sure I don't have any voltage where I'm not supposed to have any. We're going to bring this up from 51 volts, and we'll bring it up to probably around maybe 90 volts. And I'm looking at the current. Anytime we start drawing, we shouldn't be drawing very much current on this. Like I said, I've got a 1 amp fuse in there. Okay, so now at 83 volts, I'm starting to hear some hum, and we're starting to get some filaments in the tubes. Not sure if you guys can see that. I'm definitely starting to get some hum out of the speaker. So I'm going to let it sit at, where are we at? We're at 84 volts right now. I'm going to let it sit there and just kind of get happy. Okay, so we're at 119 volts and we're looking good as far as current goes and everything. We're drawing 0.18 of an amp. So that's excellent. We're consuming 19.3 watts of power. So that's looking good. So being that I can't tune the radio or turn the band because it's the knobs and everything, and I got to get everything else hooked up, and before I did that I wanted to check the tubes and whatnot. So the thing to do would be to go ahead and inject a signal via my tablet and see if we can get any sound that way. Well, let me see how we do here. Definitely looks like we're going to be pushing some signal. Come on. Tablet.
Hey, I got what you need.
Oh, boy, that's barely even. The volume is barely even turned up, and that thing is cranking.
This is good. Oh man, that's the best shit around. That's the active rabbit test. Dude, rabbit test? I need a COVID test. I'm not pregnant. You know what I mean? Rapid, goddammit, rapid. Where'd you get it, if you don't mind me asking? Oh man, off a back of running truck outside the nursing home. No employees around. I got tons of these shits.
How much?
For you, special price, $35.
$35?
Hey, look, man, that's cheaper than what the fuck Mayor Duggan is paying.
Yeah, that's true.
So,
Deuces.
All right, thanks, man. Hey, by the way, man, you know you got a hair all over your mask?
Yeah.
I don't,
pay my wife Big Pussy. She got a calico named Big Pussy.
I don't want to call it 100% success yet, but because we're not through, I've still got to do the radio. What do you call it? Oh, the radio cord. But it looks like we're going to be just fine and dandy. I still got to hook up the tone circuit, the buttons and all that. Before I do that, though, I have to pull this chassis back out so that I can complete a couple other tasks. But hey, man, we've got audio. And so it looks like we have successfully restored and got working another radio. This is my second one. This is a 1941 or 1942 Zenith. I see a model number right there that says 26-311. What I've been looking up in the schematic I've gotten is off the back, which is model 12H670. Right there. So, pretty freaking cool. I will definitely give you guys an update video once this is all said and done. But, yeah, we've got sound.
Hey, by the way, man, you know you got a hair all over your mask? Yeah. I was petting my wife, Big Pussy. She got a calico named Big Pussy. Peace.